Hey everyone, right now we're on a pretty scenic road in northern New Hampshire, right along the river. Noticed a nice tree line along the river. See how a lot of areas you can't really see the river. It's a good amount of trees growing there. Well, those trees and bushes are very important. They're helping hold together the land right there, especially when that river floods, so it doesn't erode further over here near the road. Well, down here, I don't know if it was the DOT or who, someone cut down a whole bunch of the trees a couple of years back. Ever since, the road started slipping into the river, and they've been constantly having to repair it, build it up with very rugged rocks and stuff. There's a couple areas with cracks all over the road. You can see it slowly slipping towards it. You see right now you can't really see the river, but we're very close to it. There's only maybe a 10-20 foot tree line. I don't know if they cut it down so tourists could see it more. Well, it caused a big issue. Very slowly they're moving the different areas of the road in. But up here, there's a whole area. They're just not even going near the river. They're just cutting through the woods. It's a shortcut, but it's also mainly to get away from the river. I think this section they might try moving too, because last year they cut down all the trees to the right. See how they flattened that out? I wonder if that's going to be part of the road at some point. We're going to get to it in just a moment. They were working on it earlier today. Today I explored a bunch of the logging roads in northern New Hampshire. Not as eventful as Maine. These roads around here aren't as exciting. There's not as much wildlife. Not as rural, I'd say. Still very rural, but not very rural. Like, you can go hours without passing another vehicle. Not that rural. Not that much. Here's an ATV trail. Snowmobile trail in the winter. You can take any vehicle down there across that bridge. They don't mind if you take a regular vehicle down the ATV trail, as long as you don't get it stuck. A couple times in the last year, this river here flooded way up next to the road. Probably crossed in a couple of spots. Didn't see evidence of grass being pushed over and stuff. You see what we're running over? We just ran over some tubes. It's the same kind of thing like if you go into a full service gas station, you run over the tube and it pushes air or oil through it and it rings a bell so you know someone pulled up. Well, that right there counts axles, so they know how many vehicles go down the road. This was working hours, this sign would be flashing saying construction ahead, because they cut it down to one lane. The speed limit's also reduced to 40 instead of 50 during work hours. I noticed that earlier today. See, there's still a bunch of nice trees next to the road. They paved this last year. They did not pave up here because they're moving the road, and they knew they were going to have to move the road. I wonder if they'll leave the old section of road abandoned or rip it up and block it off. I really don't know. There's very, very old sections of this road where it's like very narrow. You can still see the yellow line, but years ago when it really closely followed the river, back in the primitive days, like 100 years ago. It's still paved though. Probably not 100 years then, but old, a lot of curves. That's why they got rid of it. The days before they did a lot of cut and fill, like ripping down mountains and filling in valleys to make it as smooth and as straight as possible. They didn't do that much back then. But here's the work zone. It's no longer going to be coming out here on this, I guess you could call it a little peninsula into the water. But pretty soon, this road will not have this left-hand curve. It'll go straight right through the woods there to avoid this area. You see all the little markers over here? The road is slowly slipping right here. You see where there's a ton of reflectors on the left? There was a landslide right here, and they have some silt filters. Little landslide there after they cut down all the bushes. And they're also getting rid of this unnecessary curve in the road. Here's all the construction. For a while here, they're moving the entire road over like 50 feet, maybe 70 feet over. Look at all that really large gravel they're putting in. No one's working right now. Dump trucks. Right here, they haven't put the culvert pipe in yet. I don't know why. They might put a small bridge in there to save that wetland area. That might be why. They might have to do a bunch of permitting with the wetland. That's probably why that one area there doesn't have a culvert yet. It's very swampy. We've had many beaver uncloggings there in the past. This right here is pretty cool. I'm gonna put the flashers on. Or just a blinker, so this person that's approaching can pass me. Just want to show this culvert pipe, which is really cool. Oh, that's what I'm feeling. Them driving metal tracked excavators down the road. It feels like a rumble strip in some areas. Look at that. Precast culvert, that's pretty cool. They have a temporary dam on the other side of it. They're not allowing water through yet. They have a generator running to run all the pumps, which is really cool. They're pumping all the water through that. And there was never a big pipe there before. That's very oversized compared to what's under the road now. They're getting prepared for big storms since the area's had more flooding over time. Yeah, it feels like a rumble strip in some areas because they're riding the excavators. They know they're going to tear all this up. They're moving the road over where this whole clearing is to get it away from the road. Notice how there's no trees or bushes. In this area, it could have been the power company. There are power lines there. Matter of fact, we're going to turn around. When I started this video, it looked like there was an area of backed up water. We're gonna go investigate that. I have a cup I have to jam under the camera so it doesn't rattle. We've unclogged this one before. I've been to this site before. It's a weird one. There's a culvert and there's an area of hollow gravel going under the road that water passes through. What do you think? Is this because it's a wetland? Do you think they're going to build a bridge to try to preserve that? That's what I'm thinking. Leave in the comments what you think about this. All right. What I'm thinking, to preserve that little wetland area, but how exactly are they going to preserve it? They're going to have some kind of little dam or something under there because that wetland's a bit of elevation above the river. They can't just remove this road, or maybe they'll leave the old road here for fishermen parking or something. It's possible. There are a lot of old sections like I was talking about that are still paved and very well existing. Take a little drive back down here. Here's another generator. Don't know what that one's for. Oh, I saw what it was for. They had a big pipe going down into the water. My cup's falling again. I think that generator they start up to pump water into those tanker trucks to reduce dust on the construction site. That's what I think it is. End of work zone. Up here, not too far, is another culvert that we've unclogged in the past. White pine trees on the other side of the river look like they're turning brown, and it's not lack of water, it's gotta be bugs. Here we are. Let's pull over for a moment, take a look at it. I'm not gonna drive this way anymore. Let's just turn around because I want to go down here a little bit and explore a few of the areas where the very ancient paved road is still there. So that area up there, that'll be the second time they've moved it. I'll keep the truck running for now. If it is clogged, it's probably a beaver dam in it because the grate's not up here. Well, the grate's not inserted right now. They ripped it out for some reason. The ground's slipping. Yeah, there's a beaver dam in the pipe. And the water's above capacity. And I got the big high boots on. This pipe, I believe, is very huge. Let's go look at it for a moment. What do we got? Oh, these beavers. Yep, looks like we're gonna do an unclogging. That'll be in a future video. Thanks for watching this vlog, everyone. Have a great day.